Welcome back to Raw Sports Talk. I'm Chris, your favorite stat reader, and we have the Spurs hosting the Mavericks, and the Spurs are 6-point home favorites. The over-under is at 226. The Mavericks are plus 185 on the money line, and the Spurs are minus 225. Now, these are the overnight odds. They're going to change the closer we get to tip-off tomorrow. They have played each other twice this season. The Mavericks won both games, but we'll see how that goes tomorrow. 120-109 in Dallas, and then 110-93 in Dallas. I think that was in San Antonio. That both of them were in Dallas. Lineups for this game, and now please understand, the NBA, these teams have 30 minutes before the game to confirm who's going to play. I can't do anything about it. I could just tell you who is supposed to be there. Lineups are supposed to be Dinwiddie, Christie, Thompson, Marshall, and Edwards for the Mavericks. And the Spurs, because they like to drive me insane, did not input a lineup, but they did play today. So we're going to roll with who they rolled with today, which was Vassell, Barnes, Biyombo, Fox, and Paul. That was who they started today against the T-Wolves. Head-to-head, the Mavericks are 9-1 against the Spurs in their last 10. The Mavericks have beaten the Spurs the last 6 times that they've played them. The home team's on a 2-game winning streak. The home team is 5-5. The favorite has won and covered the last 2. The favorite is 7-3 against the spread. The favorite is 9-1 on the money line. The over is 7-3, and the over at 226 is also 7-3. The Mavericks are 3-7 in their last 10. They are 3-7 against the spread. The under is 6-4 in their last 10. They have lost their last 5 games, and they have not covered their last 6 games. 220, 244, 233, 241. 24-point loss to the Kings, then a 30-point loss to the Bucks, 11-point loss to the Grizzlies, and then a 9-point loss to the Suns. For the Spurs, 3-7 in their last 10 as well. 3-7 against the spread as well. And the over is 5-4-1. The over has hit in their last 5 games. They've lost their last 2. They did not cover those games. 278 points, 240, 236, and then 265 points. 14-point loss to the Thunder, didn't cover. 14-point win over the Nets, they did cover. Then an 18-point loss to the Kings, and a 17-point loss to the T-Wolves. They did not cover either of those games. Now, the only thing that's like kind of a saving grace here is that the Spurs are still scoring. But if you look at the scores of the Mavericks games, the last couple of games, they've been scoring up over 100 points as well. It's just, are the Spurs going to be able to put up 120 points in back-to-back nights, especially after they played the T-Wolves in Minnesota and then have to travel back home? I will take the Spurs on the money line. I'll take the Mavericks getting the points. This would be one of those games where I would try to get the Mavericks getting a lot more points at a reasonable price. And I do think that this game goes over. Now, these are just my picks. If you disagree, please go with your gut. And please bet responsibly.